Hey folks, welcome to the insider's view of building your data center one DSC resource at a time. I'm Jason Helmick with Pluralsight, and this is going to be amazing. I'm joined today with Mike from Microsoft. Hi Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Why don't you take a moment and tell everybody a little bit about you. What do you do for Microsoft?
So I'm a senior consultant with Microsoft Consulting Services. I've been in consulting for the past 2 years. So essentially I focus in Exchange architecture and infrastructure. So do a lot of Exchange design, but once we've actually done the implementation, I also do a lot of configuration and automation as well.
Now, I hope everybody's kind of caught from what you just said. First of all, you're a consultant. In other words, you're definitely in the trenches doing the work out in the field for real. The other thing is that you do a lot of Exchange. And that's interesting because the DSC resource we're going to talk about is the xExchange resource. Now, I consider this a premier resource. We've had folks talking about a lot of resources. They're smaller things that you need to do, like maybe configure DHCP or DNS server. But Exchange is a pretty vast, complicated product. What was it like trying to build this resource?
Bit time consuming. Yeah, it does cover all aspects of Exchange, or not all aspects, but it does cover the end-to-end deployment of Exchange and many aspects of it. So it's essentially time consuming just figuring out, which resources we wanted to do and then just cranking out resource after resource.
Now, where did you start from? What was your starting point? Because I think it could help people to understand that are also building their own custom resources. If I have this big elephant, where do I start eating this from? And for Exchange's perspective, what was your first goal to deal with when building this?
The first goal, I actually wrote the majority of the module for a specific customer. So the primary goal was to monitor some settings that had been prone to getting reverted for them in the past.
Oh, okay.
So we actually identified, the specific commandlets that we wanted, Exchange commandlets that we wanted to monitor via DSC, and we started there. And then once we had gotten a little further, we decided we wanted to use DSC for everything. So we kind of moved all their configuration scripts over to it.
And what was the decision-making process that you made that you wanted to manage some of your customers' drift? Why did you choose DSC, first of all?
It was an in-house technology. The time that we started needing a solution for maintaining my customers' configuration was about the exact same time that DSC shipped. And being an in-house technology, we decided we wanted to go with that, versus.
Now, a lot of people that work with a lot of products have some issues because the commandlets that support the product may not quite be there. And one of the things that we found is creating DSC resources. If you have a great commandlet spread that really works with the product, that can make it easier. Did you find it, because the Exchange team and what they did with the commandlets, they're known as like the gold standard of PowerShell commandlets. Did this help you make resources quicker? Because your module has 20 some odd, almost 30 resources in it.
Right. Yeah, it did. All the stuff we wanted to configure, Exchange did already have commandlets for, provided for us to be able to do that. So for instance, for configuring an Outlook web access, Exchange has, a get, set, OA virtual directory commandlet. And we're able to port that right over to an OA virtual directory resource. So if you know the parameters that are going to go into that OA virtual directory or commandlet in Exchange, you can use all those same parameters with the DSC resource.
Which is really kind of amazing because you've really gone pretty much soup to nuts on all of these DSC resources for Exchange. So you can configure an on-prem environment. As you said, your full end-to-end scenarios, all the way through all of the high availability options, the DAGs, all of that kind of stuff, making all the databases, doing all the settings. That seems, how long did it take you?
With the help of a couple other engineers at Microsoft, we probably spent 2 months on the major first set of resources, which I want to say was like 18 to 20 different resources. And then from then, it was mostly just testing after that.
Well, one of the best parts about this is not only is this, like I said, it's one of the premier resources. It's amazing, all of the great work you guys got done with this. The fact that you got it done, and I'm going to say it, so quickly. I mean, it's a lot of work in there, and you got it done so quickly. There's some projects I'd like for you to help me with. But this is also, when you look at these configurations, you look at the actual resources themselves, it's kind of a great training platform for people that are trying to also figure out other products and learn this too. You must be pretty happy with the end result of all of this work that you have.
Yeah, definitely. I've gotten really good feedback from people that have used it too. So it's been pretty rewarding.
Well, I got to tell you, I am very excited to see the interview that you're about to do with Don Jones and see some of the examples you're going through. This is totally cool stuff, especially for me being an Exchange guy. Very excited. I want to thank you very much for your time. Hey, folks, I know I've said it before, but this is certainly one you absolutely can't miss. Even if you're not working with Exchange, it doesn't matter. There's so much to learn from the completeness of this amazing DSC resource. So join Mike and Don as they go through and they explain the xExchange resource in our series of, oh, but wait, here's the link somewhere around here, in our series of Building Your Data Center, one DSC resource at a time.